Okay, let's get into it. There's a kind of faith that it sounds right, but it never again really shows up in real life. We see this repeated pattern this week as James is trying to really nail this down in our lives. It's a faith that lives in words, in agreement, in intention, but when it comes time to act, to step in, to take a risk, to actually obey, it hesitates or it delays or it just stays theoretical. We know the right thing to do, but we're not quite willing to do it. And over time, you can start to feel that gap between what you say you believe and how you actually live. Maybe just quietly, there's a disconnect. But James doesn't want to let that sit. James 2:24-26. You see that a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. In the same way, was not Rahab the prostitute justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from works is dead. James brings in Rahab. It's not Abraham this time, somebody completely different, an outsider, a woman with a past. She was a prostitute, someone that no one would expect to be an example of faith. And yet, when the moment came, she acted. She hid the spies. She aligned herself with God's people. She took a risk that could have cost her everything. And James says that's what living with faith looks like. Because real faith doesn't just agree, it moves. Another phrase, of justified by works. It can sound jarring. Martin Luther hated it. James isn't saying that we earn our standing with God. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that our faith is shown to be real by what it produces. And that brings up fruit language, right? That Jesus talks about it, that a tree will be known by its fruit, that a fruit tree is a fruit tree because it has fruit. Our faith is real because it has works. It's visible, it's demonstrated, it's proven genuine. That picture at the end makes it clear. A body without the spirit is dead. It has the form, but not the life. And James says that's what faith is like. When it never turns into action, it might look right, it might sound right, but it doesn't carry life because faith, by its nature, it's meant to animate something, to move you, to shape you, to lead you somewhere. You see all through Scripture, you think about the early church in Acts. They didn't just believe the resurrection. They reorganized their lives around it. They shared their possessions. They welcomed outsiders. They endured persecution. Their faith had movement. It had weight. Their faith showed up in the flesh. Because God doesn't form people through passive agreement. He forms us, transforms us as we respond, as we step in, and as we obey. Sometimes imperfectly, sometimes with fear, but still moving nonetheless. So, here's the question. Once again this week. Where has your faith stayed just in your words and not crossed into action? Where do you sense that that disconnect? It's not guilt, it's just honesty. Maybe it's a nudge you've been ignoring, a step you've been postponing, a place where obedience just feels inconvenient or costly. James isn't calling you to do more for the sake of doing more. He's inviting you into something alive. Because faith that moves is faith that breathes. And so what will it look like today? Just to take one small step. Just like yesterday, however small, it's this constant prompting of, is your faith showing up in your life? A small step that aligns your life with what you say you believe. And start there. Wherever you find yourself, God goes with you today.